Good morning, it's Friday, it's Friday. Okay, guys, how are you all? Hi, Edward Bevington, Tina Davis, Melanie Wright. Good morning, good morning. It's Friday, it's Friday. It's Friday on the coffee moaning Jim Jam, on the jub jub, on the dibbly da da. And what happens on a Friday? We something like that. Anyway, something like that. How are you all? It's Friday. We're going into the weekend. Sazzy, Megan Peralta Harrison. Not seen your name before. Fabulous name. Let's pull it back up. This is this really annoying thing where you just can't mute our YouTube feed, which is really frustrating. Let's have a look. Where are you? Oh, whose name was that? I just want to go back to that name. I don't recognise your name. Lou Warnock 83. Hello. Megan Peralta Harrison. Chin Chin, what a name, what a name. Love a bit of double barrel action. How are we all? Hi, Bev Berry, Claire LC, Faith Goodman B. Yes, it's the quiz of the week, you're right. If we get there, I've just got the old beanie on, The Last of Us. I wish there was something bloody good on telly. I know I keep asking you, what's that furry thing behind you? Where? A dog? What furry thing? There is no furry thing. Stop making me think this. Go. Have you seen DNA proves we have wild pumas and panthers in the UK? If you next time you see that moggy, don't go and stroke it. Your arm will be taken off. Yeah, yeah. We have wild cats. Something that's got regional news outlets excited for nearly 35 years. Are there panthers on Dartmoor? There we go. Looks like a dead cat. Where? Oh, that over there. That came from, who was that from? That was from the producers of What's Love Got to Do with it. Is that the Lily James film? I think so. Yeah, so rest your head upon my lap. Sing a song and stroke the cat as long as it's not a panther. Right, here's a clue. Here's a clue as to what's going on in the Curly Cooks tomorrow. Isn't that Magic Roundabout? Morning, Catagirl. I love your name, Catagirl. Feels like it's sort of like da 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 da, ha da 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 da, cata 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 da da ha da da da. Do you know what I mean? So yes, tomorrow the Curly Cooks, 10 o'clock, pre-record, but don't let that dissuade you. It's a pre-record, but it may well also be a premiere. Sorry, I just think the sort of the mechanics, the engineering of a cocktail stick is just quite something, isn't it? Lee making cocktails, says Steph Whelan. Don't know where you got that idea from. What on earth have I done that gives you that idea? We're just sorting out my various coffees. Yeah, it's live. Well, it's not going to be. It is. It's batshit mental. And I can use the word mental because I have a mental health illness. So I'm not being disparaging about mentalness. Okay. I can even call myself mad. Mad as a box of frogs. Because I'm not a box of frogs. Cocktails, Ellen. Absolutely. ABBA Mamma Mia style. I can't. The furry thing between the box. What is going on? What are you bibbing on about between the box and the, I don't know. Voyager for the win. Oh, right. Yeah, okay, so MeTube, you're in there knowing who these people are. I didn't even know who they are. I saw a headline of Zelensky, obviously the head of Ukraine, and it said not allowed to, I thought it said not allowed to sing. Not allowed to sing. And I thought, what does it... Okay, we asked this on the Coffee Moaning Instagram account. If I was Zelensky, I'd be like, do I really want to talk at the Eurovision? I mean, I know Ukraine won, but should Zelensky be allowed to appear at Eurovision? I mean, I feel like I'm I feel like I'm in an alternate universe. When has the Eurovision Song Contest become such a cultural phenomenon. Morning, Leslie Sargent. Jabrit knit. Liking the beanie hat this morning. Think we'll add making one to my knit list. You're a Brit knitter. Fantastic. I just gave Kooks and Everything Everywhere All at Once one with a bobble eye on the forehead. My friend Gabrielle is on the way to Liverpool to go to the Eurovision final. She's so excited. Okay. Look, I'm the exception. You know, yesterday I was in a house with Lee, Dina, Nadia, Betty, all supremely excited. I think it's absurd he is talking at it. Is he talking at it? I thought they said he can't talk at it. The story is that he can't. Volodymyr Zelensky blocked from making address at Eurovision as final qualifiers announced. He's been blocked because it's seen as politicizing the event. I don't understand why it's called the Eurovision Song Contest and yet Australia got through. What's that about? Nothing against Australia. But last time I looked at the map, it wasn't in Europe. Just like Israel wasn't all those years ago. It strikes me that the Eurovision isn't privy to the same rules and regulations as the World Cup or the Euro Championships. You've got a badger. Oh, do you mean there? That's a byproduct of the carnage that was yesterday. You know what? I mean, I don't know. I think, are we really, I don't know. Is Zelensky going to politicize it? Ukraine, what? I mean, it's always, the weird thing about Eurovision is, it's like an opportunity for for national trolls to go, we're not voting for you, don't like you. So, you know, the UK never got anywhere, did they, when everyone hated us? I mean, everyone hates us, don't they? But now we're hosting it, so we've got through because we pay the big bucks. Do you know what I mean? If you pay the money, you can sing your songs. Eurovision never meant Europe. Oh, now Me Too. Let's open this can of worms. Eurovision, a vision of Euroness. Europe looking outwards. Is that what it means? Is it a sort of Eurovision? It's like I have Euro goggles on or Euro glasses and I just see the world. And in fact, because we're so Euro, everyone in the world falls under this great umbrella of Euroness. I get it. Eurovision. It's like 3D vision. It's like 2020 vision. Is that what you mean? It's like Euro. Is Australia part of the Commonwealth? Yeah, but why isn't it called the Commonwealth vision? Who the hell's Katie Boyle, Vanessa Wild? I don't know any. All I remember was, what was the name of the group where they ripped the miniskirts off each other? Euro is a way of being, Minky Moo. So it's fucking philosophical, this. Maggie N. Oh, thank you. I'd be fascinated to know a bit more about that. It was to do with the broadcasting companies. Bucks Fizz. I think Nadia and Dino should do a bit of a Bucks Fizz routine, don't you? And I think they should be wearing mini skirts. And we should rip them off. Brotherhood of Man. Sorry, I'm going down a completely different route. Making your mind up. I love the Finland entry. Cha, cha, cha. Okay. We all feel a fondness for the Eurovision. I have always said I like the running commentary. I go to it, or when I was a kid, I would chuckle when Terry Wogan would say his droll, make his droll observations with his wonderful Irish lilt. And now Graham Norton, who I have to say is possibly one of my most favourite broadcasters. I just love him so much. He can't do no wrong. I go to it for that. But isn't it all about the songs being shit? Isn't that what it's meant to be? I mean, we don't go to it for tip-top brilliant music, or do we? It should go global and be held every 4 years. Yeah, World Vision. Eurovision, World Vision. This isn't a criticism of Europe. But have you ever noticed how the logos that are developed in Europe, I don't know, there's something really annoying about them. they're always kind of something that's a little bit kind of like a smiley face with a flag. Even like when you're driving down the motorway, it's like smiley face stuff. It's really weird. Terry Wogan, a great limerick man, fantastic limerick humour. Look, I'll tell you what, I'll tell you this straight. I'll tell you this for nothing. I just love the Irish sense of humour. Just do, I love it so much. I love it like a pair of coconuts. Michelle Manning, oh, sorry, just read you. Good idea, me too. 4 yearly and global. I think we should have, we should have World Vision every 4 years. And in between, every 4 years, we should have Eurovision. I think keep it to Europe. Rylan is also brilliant in his broadcasting during Eurovision, Jennifer Winter. I've got a lot of time for Rylan. I like Rylan, but I can't say I've listened to him. I can't say it's been at the top of my schedule, Eurovision. But there we go. Anyway, Zelensky, what do you think? Should he be allowed to talk? 52% say yes, 48% say no. I think he's got a lucky escape myself. I know Ukraine won. I think Ukraine are going to win again, don't you? How can you not vote for a country that's in the grim state that they're in? It'd be nice to see an Arab nation in there, wouldn't it? You know, seeing as there's no kind of rules. I mean, are there rules? Oh. EK1612, I love the spectacle. It's camp and outrageous. Precisely what Lee was saying. And it's precisely going into it with that attitude that you have to have. Not mine. They can invite any nation. Why don't they invite an Arab nation? Christos. It's all about the vision, the flamboyance, the colours, the lights, the costumes accompanied by music. Christos, I could see you there. I could see you there in a leotard. I think you need to be in a bright, shiny, neon leotard playing a ginormous organ. Maybe a piano even, but you know what I mean. I could just, I don't know, with a huge collar like that. Sort of a collar that goes, I mean, it sounded very like Elton John, but you know what I mean. I can see that. Hi, Tez. You're probably thinking, what the fuck is this Eurovision chat about? It's supposed to be fun. Siobhan Jordan, don't mention the F word on a Friday. Do not. I can't believe you've just done that. Siobhan's mentioned the F word, guys. And we know how we feel about the F word, don't we? Yes, hashtag fuck off fun. We don't like fun on a Friday. Well, no, look, I always think this sends out mixed messages. It's Friday, it's fun, it's lovely, it's great. But I hate the way people say you're going to have fun. As soon as people say it's fun, it's not fun. So when people say to me Eurovision is fun, I go, no, it's not going to be fun. It's going to be bloody annoying. Sorry. But if it just catches you, say you're flicking around the schedules and you just stumble across it, it could be fun. It's like when you go out to have a fun night out, it's rarely fun. Well, it rarely was for me. I'd end up in a skip. But you know, if you go out, let's just go for a quick drink and a bit of a nibble. 18 hours later, wow, you've had some fun. Okay, you probably burnt 3 cars, but you've had some fun. Do not mention it's F off Friday, Brenda M. Yeah, no, the fun word. You brought it into the room. You pay the consequences, I'm afraid. Anyway, yeah, Eurovision, everyone's going bloody nuts for Eurovision, so they're all going to have fun, and I'm going to stand at the edges not having fun, sipping my mocktail. On a serious note, Jamie Foxx, the actor, Jamie Foxx. I obviously, he won an Oscar for his portrayal of Ray Charles, the sort of jazz, rhythm and blues pianist, singer. He also, for me, was just the most sensational actor in Django Unchained, which is, be warned if you haven't seen, it's a very violent Tarantino film, but he's excellent in it, him and Christoph Waltz. Obviously, Jamie Foxx was taken ill a month or so ago. I've heard lots of rumours that this is a stroke. All that's being described about his condition is that it's, he's undergoing or experiencing a medical complication. He was shooting his new Netflix film, starring alongside Cameron Diaz, who I believe he also starred alongside, didn't he, in the remake or the reboot of Annie. He was taken into hospital, and there's been lots of sort of people sort of saying, oh, he's doing all right, he's got better, he's sort of more stable. No one really fully knowing the extent of what has happened. Kevin Hart came out saying, you know, things have stabilized, da 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 da. A message allegedly from Jamie Foxx himself said thank you to everyone for all of the messages. But his family, friends and family are saying, whether this is a direct quote or not, we don't know, saying, but that they're hoping for the best regarding his condition, but preparing for the worst, which is a really, really sort of chilling sentence, and a worry, really, because, and I just want to see what you think. I mean, has anyone heard on the grapevine whether it's I mean, I think it's the suggestion that it is a stroke. He is so young. And he's one of those guys. He comes across as one of those guys in Hollywood. He's like everybody's mate, isn't he? He's sort of like he's this sort of approachable end of Hollywood A-list stardom. You know, he's got you know, he's sort of one of us without being one of us, in a sense. You know what I mean? You feel that he would sort of smart at the kind of airs and graces of everything, all that kind of stuff. Lots of rumours abound over Jamie. Yeah. What sorts of rumours? I don't know. I mean, there's the suggestion that he has had and has struggled with high blood pressure for a while. A source close to the actor at some point said he needs all the prayers and well wishes his fans can muster. It was suggested on the 4th of May. Kevin Hart, as I said, suggested he was on the road to recovery. And at the moment, it seems like things have gone a little bit quiet and a little bit ambiguous around his conditions. So that's just sort of keeping an eye on Jamie Foxx, who is clearly struggling. Lee Doran, I just love how humble he is, and he is an amazing singer as well, and a great dancer. He's a great dancer as well. He's cheeky. He's got a cheeky thing about him. Wasn't there a sort of reality series or something? I don't think it did particularly well with him and his daughter. It's very close to his daughter, isn't he? I think second stroke. So it looks like and feels like it could be a stroke. We feel he could have had a second stroke. Wow. Sally Hatton, yeah, just pump it in. Jamie Foxx, he's kind of been at the margins of not being sort of in the mainstream. He's won an Oscar, and as I say, Django Unchained was sensational. I just thought that he's absolutely sensational in that. If you want a good, I mean, it's violent, as I say, but if you want a good film, Leonardo DiCaprio's in there too. Plays a brilliant villain as well. Electro from the Spider-Man films, absolutely, Edward Bevington. Well, he had a renaissance. They had his character, didn't they, in the more recent ones. So that's Jamie Foxx, who's, tragically really struggling. So let's hope that in much the same way that Jeremy Renner proved himself to be almost a real-life action hero, superhero, Jamie Foxx will get himself back out. Soul! Was he the voice in Soul? That film is so good. If you haven't seen Soul, Pixar. Brilliant film. Anyway, I've got every faith that he's going to be all right. Jamie Foxx. YouTuber, right. We posted an image of this on the Coffee Moaning Instagram account. Brilliant and Ray jealous. This is has anyone heard of a YouTuber called Trevor Jacob? Trevor Jacob. Okay, well, this guy, in his hot pursuit of YouTube views, let's make a little note. He crashed an airplane with GoPros and mini cams attached to all parts of it in order to get a viral YouTube hit. So he intentionally crashed an airplane for views, and obviously he's been charged now because he's pled guilty to obstructing a federal investigation by cleaning up the site of a crash. Trevor Jacob, 29, posted a video of the plane crash in December 2021, implying it was an accident. It got over 2.9 million views to date. Now, 2.9 million views is a lot, don't get me wrong. But not as many as you'd think, would you, for a plane crash? I suppose Channel 4 crashed a Boeing, didn't they? It's obviously a thing. Crashed a Boeing 747 or something into a mountain, didn't they? And they wanted to, I guess that weird, wonderful thing that Channel 4 does, which is, it's an experiment. Oh, okay. Social experiment? No, just a scientific, an engineering experiment. Let's crash something into a wall. It's an experiment. Let's do it. Well, this guy, it was, so he claimed it was a crash. Of course, when people were watching the film, their sort of suspicions were aroused by the fact that he had a parachute on his back. Anyway, so let's walk through his steps. The cost, absolutely sadly, it's a very, well, I mean, it's still costly, but it's one of those sort of, what would you call them? I've been in one, and they're sort of very jibbly, very light aircraft, small light aircraft. So in November 2021, he set off from Santa Barbara Airport in California on a solo flight. He had cameras attached, mounted all over the plane like you would inside a car. And he took a parachute with him and a selfie stick. I mean, of course, any sort of, sort of YouTuber worth their salt, you're on a selfie stick. He did not intend to reach his destination, the US Attorney's Office said. He claimed he did. Anyway, the plane, he leapt out. He leapt out of the plane, parachuting. He planned to eject himself, which he did. The plane crashed 35 minutes after takeoff in a national forest. Now, that's incredibly dangerous and irresponsible, isn't it? Just let a plane crash. This is like something out of Raiders of the Lost Ark or something. Some YouTube viewers, highly attentive ones, were skeptical, as I say, because they saw that he had a parachute on his back. He reported the crash, and apparently you're legally obliged to attend to, preserve, and protect the wreckage. I don't know what rules. I think if you hit a deer, well, there's a point to this. If you hit a deer whilst driving through Scotland, which in fact we did once whilst we were driving through the Highlands, it took the front of our car off, and weirdly the car continued to drive. If you hit a deer, I think in Scotland, am I right in thinking you have to leave the deer for the next person driving to pick up? You can't take the deer yourself. I think that's right. We moved it out of the road. It was sadly still dying. I mean, there's nothing like, anyway. But there are these kind of strange sort of bylaws and rules and what have you. And I think you have to take responsibility for the wreckage. It's a crime scene of sorts, which needs to be looked after, and that's your duty and responsibility. He claimed, though, that he didn't know where the plane crashed. And so this is where the cover-up, this is how, where the cover-up sort of resides. Because of course he did, because he went and got the cameras. So he did know. He went back there later in a helicopter. So he's pled guilty to, what is the exact thing? He's pled guilty to the destruction, one felony count of destruction and concealment with the intent to obstruct a federal investigation. How did he not know? Cameras. Of course, he knew where it was. He went and found it. He must have put some kind of alarm on it that he could have found. Is that right, Julie Beddoes? That is right, isn't it? About if you hit a deer, you've got to leave it for the person behind you. Bit of a buffoon, is he not? He is. I guess he probably did all of the maybe did do all the due diligence and thought if this crashes into a wood, but flip it out. Bit weird, isn't it? He conveniently didn't know. Wow, exactly. But he did. There's so much about that shows that he knew exactly what was going on. A, he didn't really crash it. B, he claimed it was for an ad. I think it was what was it called? Promotional or something like that, some kind of promotional. I picked up a deer once and sold it to a butcher. Who said that? Good shot lollipop. Yeah. No, yeah, we did toy with it. It was incredibly traumatic because the deer we stayed with the deer whilst it took its last breaths. But boy, the damage to the car. Anyway, that's the YouTuber Trevor Jacob, who's admitted to crashing a plane for YouTube views. Same with pheasants, is it? It's the same for pheasants, classed as poaching if you kill it and take it. Ah, right, got ya. Okay. We've done Zelensky, but I tell you what, one thing how do you feel about this? I'm going to have to ask you as a poll. So the UK, I think, is the only country in the world to offer Ukraine long-range missiles. Now, I don't know about you, but a long-range missile suggests to me, if you're offering them to Ukraine, that they can hit Russia. And the UK is the only country to have given Ukraine such far-reaching weaponry. And I'm asking you now, is it right that the UK have decided to step out from the rest of the pack and go, you know what, we're going to put our money where our mouth is, money where our mouth is, and we're going to give Ukraine long-range missiles. Now, it doesn't take a genius for Putin to feel, hang on a minute, this isn't too good. The part of this that's worrying me a little bit, if I'm honest, and it's Friday, hashtag fuck off Friday. Sadie C, you've summed it up beautifully. Great, now we all have a target on our heads. What I don't understand is why can't these decisions be made collectively? Question one. And then if, you know, the great wisdom of our defense ministry and government says, well, but no one else will do it, why do we then not ask the follow-up question of, why won't anyone else do this? So Russia have said, the UK has been threatened with a military response, in inverted commas, by Russia after we pledged to send long-range missiles. Now, whether this military response will be some kind of bombardment of Ukraine or weaponry in Ukraine, all I know is that eventually Putin will be gone. He'll go. He'll trip over the great big Botox needle that's heading towards his forehead and he'll be gone. And then there are going to be people in there who are possibly, if you can fathom it, worse than him. Who's going to be the annoying little mosquito at the top of Europe that, you know, the Russians might, you know what, let's get rid of them. Let's get rid of them. What an annoying, let's get the fly swat out, like I was last night. The executioner. What is this about? Is this them trying to do the old Falklands thing of if we're seen to be hardcore, we know the score? I don't know. I just think it seems really strange. And I think we are just you know, what with the Russians floating around in the North Sea, checking out our pipelines and all that kind of stuff. I just don't, it's not that I think there's a debate to be had about whether we should send stuff like this. And of course, to suggest that we shouldn't have done this isn't to say appeasement didn't work. But there's also being sensible. I feel like I sometimes wonder if there's anyone that does any connected thinking up there. I just don't understand it. Is UK right to give Ukraine long-range missiles? 3/4 of you pretty much say no. My inclination is no. No, we're not right. It's not right. I'm sorry, I just don't think it is. Russia has been in the North Sea for ages. I mean, Russia's been doing everything for ages, but not in, you know, why ratchet things up? Why us? Why not do it along with others? And if others go, do you know what, Rishi, I don't think it's such a good idea. You go, no, why? Yeah, I don't know. I just think it's wrong. I think it's wrong. Okay, well, we're heading towards the Friday quiz, guys. You know we are. Agree, MeTube, it's escalation. I wonder if sometimes they just want an excuse to use nukes. I sometimes wonder whether we've got Russian operatives right at the top of government, because this is playing totally into Putin's book, isn't it? I think we may need to start building some bunkers, says Ross. Yeah, well, me and Nanny Di have started at the end of the garden for sure. She takes her time then, Nanny Di. She gets quite distracted. Other bits and bobs of news today. Elon Musk has appointed a new CEO of Twitter. What a curious relationship he's had with Twitter. What is going on there? He's like the most fidgety head of Twitter I've ever come across. So that's weird. I was going to talk through it. I just don't know any of the Eurovision people. So Elon Musk, new study. This is a big one. New study suggests feeling hungry could slow aging. Now, this is not to make light of people all over the world who are struggling with a lack of food, whilst the West sits on top an agonizingly offensive pile of wasted food. But this study has come out of, or evolved out of, a study where they've looked at what they call the insatiable hunger of flies. Sounds like the title of a book, doesn't it? We think we've created a type of insatiable hunger in flies. And by doing so, the flies live longer. The idea being, the hungrier you are, the more urgently you live and the more effectively your body functions. Now, I think there's some kind of truth in this, because if you think back to the World War II, the war, the baby boomers, less so, but, war babies and all that sort of stuff. Now, Nadia's mum's generation, Nanny Thelma's generation, the sort of the war babies and all that, they had to live on rations and all that kind of stuff. And there is proof that this was better, people's weight, their weight was better, prognosis was better, all that kind of stuff. There are other things obviously hitting them, like they all smoked like troopers, which wasn't good. But yeah, so a new study saying, but if you're hungry, it's good for you, within reason. And then there was another round finally. Has anyone heard of a band called The View? I mean, it's quite violent. I was going to show it on a thing, but I thought actually it's quite violent. Surely that's living in survival mode, though, Caroline Ibbotson. Absolutely. And also it's that idea that dogs, sometimes we all believe that we should just feed dogs at the same time every day. And believe me, the dogs believe they should be fed at the same time every day. And do they let you know that. But sometimes it's really good to let your dogs go without, even if they drive you nuts. It's good for their metabolism and it's good for their physiology. The View, The View, a band. They're a band. They were performing at a gig in Manchester. And I don't know if any of you know the movie This Is Spinal Tap. I was talking to Maddie about it the other day. She's a singer, musician. It's one of the best send-ups. I mean, it might be dated now. I don't know if any of you have seen it recently, but it was just a wonderful kind of piss take of just the idiocy of band members and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, I was going to show you this, but this is Scottish indie band The View had to abandon their comeback gig because the lead singer kicked the microphone over of his guitarist. Obviously, they'd been having some dispute elsewhere. But then the guys, who I think was the guitarist, turn around and lays into him big time. Starts punching him, kicking him, smacking him. So if you pump in online, The View comeback gig punch, it'll come up. Pretty aggressive, and obviously they've had to call off tonight's gig too. But if you fancy the comedy of watching, bands like that, do check out This Is Spinal Tap, but also Pop Star, Never Stop Ever Stop Believing, or something like that. So anyway, so quiz of the week, guys. Now, if you haven't, go and follow and check out our Coffee Moaning Instagram account. Lots of kind of silliness, interactive nonsense, quizzy stuff, polls, all that kind of stuff. Stupid photos of coffee cups and coffee beans and all that malarkey. But this is the quiz. This is the Friday quiz, which we do. For those of you who don't like quizzes or want to push on and get on, head off. But for those of you who want to stay and have a little bit of a chinwag, this is a quiz based on the news of the previous week. We like to think that sometimes Coffee Moaning has intercepted some of these stories, but not always, not always. So grab a pen or pencil and a piece of paper and a stamped addressed envelope, a self-strapped stamped, whatever, you know what I mean. And send yourself a letter, that's what I say. So what I'm gonna do here is, I'm gonna just get rid of this, I'm gonna just bring this up, and I'm gonna do this. There you go, baby. There you go. Okay, so let's pull you up. Let's do this. Let's do a bit of this. Let's get to here. If you're on YouTube, turn that off. Oh, there you go. Okay, quiz of the week. I've got your comments over here. Let's end that poll. Majority of you think we're not right to send long-range missiles. Yeah, it doesn't take a genius, does it, to work that out. Jew Oslo, we'll get it done within your 8% of battery life, I promise you. I promise you. Okay, so quiz of the week, question 1. Here we go. Good luck. And, I'll be rooting for all of you. I really will. So let's crayons at the ready, as you say, Mitchell. Okay, quiz of the week, question 1. Actor Tom Hanks, Woody, told BBC News he'd written his first novel as a release from the never-ending pressure of making films. He does make a lot of films. But what's the title of Tom Hanks's book? Is it A, Here, B, The Making of Another Major Motion Picture Masterpiece, or C, Uncommon Type? Is it A, Here, B, The Making of Another Major Motion Picture Masterpiece, or C, Uncommon Type? Which one of those is the title of actor Tom Hanks's book? First question was Fuck Off Friday fun. Russ Ouch says B. Oh, I suddenly feel quite lightheaded. Let me just have a little glass of water. Oh, Faith. Me too, very confident. Faith, you've gone, oh, I feel very lightheaded. I feel like I'm going to pass out. It's B, the making of another major motion picture masterpiece. I hope he's being ironic. I think he is. So it's B. Nanny Di in the room. Question 2. As millions watch the coronation of the king on TV, Cabinet Minister Penny Mordaunt, she looked fantastic with that sword, didn't she? Caught the eye of many viewers when wielding 2 heavy swords. Jesus Christ, what a woman. But which was not among them? So which of these swords was she not wielding? It's one of those double negative, triple or single negative or something. Which of these swords was Penny Mordaunt not doing knife tricks with? Was it A, the sword of mercy, B, the sword of offering, or C, the sword of state? Was it A, the sword of mercy, B, the sword of offering, or C, the sword of state? Me too. Samurai sword. She looked pretty damn cool, I thought. That could have been our Prime Minister with a sword, with a scimitar. What are we saying? Linda Tyler says A, sword of mercy. Wasn't. This is, which one of those wasn't it? Oh, lots of you getting it right. A, it wasn't the sword of mercy. Question 3. Worsening water shortages prompted authorities in the Pyrenees Orientales area of southern France, Orientales maybe, to ban sales of which of the following? Okay, well, we're all on our own with this one, guys. Worsening water shortages prompted authorities in this Pyrenees area of southern France to ban sales of what? A, garden swimming pools, B, hot tubs, or C, power washers? A little bit like a sort of hosepipe ban, but what were they banning? Was it A, garden swimming pools, B, hot tubs, or C, power washers? I think, personally, that I think we should start a campaign for Nadia and Dina. We were watching Vanderpump Rules last night, and one of the characters in it, for her husband, as a present, I thought, what a lovely present. I bought them a boudoir album, sort of photos of her in sort of glamorous nightwear and all that kind of stuff. I think personally that Dina and Nads should do a Curly Cooks calendar. What say you? Tell them that on the next live. I think we should definitely do it. It's A, garden swimming pools. I said hot tubs. I got that wrong. Dimitri, do you agree? Question 4. I don't think any of you are doing well, if I'm honest. I haven't even really looked at your answers today, sorry. But I've just got that feeling. How do you ban a swimming pool? Yeah, it's curious, isn't it? Me too. Okay, right. Question 4. Sadie C, I think Nads will say Mark to that. I don't know. Nah. I've already got the photos. They just don't know. Okay, question 4. A technology journalist spoke of her chilling unease at being told TikTok employees had secretly tracked her location. We did this story last week, if you were paying attention. But how had they done it? How had they tracked this journalist? How had TikTok done it? A, accessing the data of a personal account in the name of her cat. B, cloning the account of a follower and making contact via direct messaging. Or C, secretly embedding a tracking pixel in one of her videos. I didn't know you could get tracking pixels. Fucking hell. What? A tracking pixel? Brenda M's on 3 out of 3, well done. So how did this technology journalist, how was she tracked by TikTok? A, through a personal account in the name of a cat. B, through the cloning of a follower. Or C, through a tracking pixel. Lorraine Eade says B, cloning. LN says A, cat. Buses Amanda says cat. Helen Bridget, Siobhan Jordan, Michelle Hofstein, Christine Bett, Catagirl, all saying A. It is A. It was a personal account name of her cat. I mean, imagine tracking the cat, you know, oh, licking me arse again. She's licking its arse again. Really licking its arse again. Question 5. The UK government is considering reclassifying the hallucinogenic drug MDPHP to increase penalties for dealers amid concerns over its effects on users. But what is the drug otherwise known as? So I think they're looking to increase the classification of the hallucinogenic drug MDPHP. But what's its sort of street name, guys? Is it A, angel dust, B, banshee dust, or C, monkey dust? Which of these is the street name for MDPHP? Is it angel dust, is it B, banshee dust, or is it C, monkey dust? Lots of you saying angel dust. Lots of you saying angel dust. Apart from April Hill, who's saying monkey dust, and Christos, who's saying monkey dust. See, Christos, I'm seeing you in your fluorescent lycra outfit with your enormous collar, with your, I think you should have sort of, I don't know, steampunk goggles on, playing your organ. We know what you mean by that, don't we? And I think you will have a great big sachet of C, monkey dust. Nanny Di, you're doing terribly. Tell us how many you got, Mum. It's monkey dust, C. There you go. Question 6. Hi, Aaron Two-Spirit. Don't worry. Go back to the beginning. You'll have fun. It just won't be interactive. Question 6. Organisers of the prestigious Madrid Open tennis tournament apologise after being accused of sexism for which reason? If that was too fast, scroll back and I'll do it in slow motion. Organisers of the prestigious Madrid Open, that's really boring, tennis tournament, apologised after being accused of sexism for which reason? Lots of long answers here. A, an archaic dress code forcing women to wear skirts of a certain length. B, not letting the women's double finalists speak on court after their match. Or C, offering greater prize money to men than women. Which of those led to the Madrid Open tennis tournament being accused of sexism? A, archaic dress code regarding the length of skirts. B, not letting women doubles finalists talk to each other after their match. Or C, offering greater prize money to men than women. Sadie C says B, talking on court. Margaret O'Brien says C, offering greater prize money. Good Chip Lollipop says A. You're lucky I didn't burp there, I really needed to. Says A, dress code. Oh, Siobhan, Fifi, May, Holly, Michelle, Lorraine, Christine, and Linda all saying C. You're wrong. It's B. Not letting them talk. Not letting them talk. I'm looking forward to hearing. I think the highest anyone might get today might be 3 or 2. Okay, so it's B. The answer was B. The answer was B. Question 7. Eurovision. Natasha Miltram, 1 out of 6. As Liverpool geared up to host the Eurovision Song Contest, one of the city's best-known bands reunited after 36 years for the opening event. Frankie Goes to Hollywood played just one song, but what was it? Was it A, Relax, Don't Do It? Was it B, Two Tribes Go to War? Or was it C, Welcome to the Pleasure Dome? Hi, Lee. Lots of you saying, relax, don't do it. If you want to go to it, relax. I seem to remember years ago being in a club and they were there. Relax, don't do it. When you want to go. I was really chuffed the other day. The Chemical Brothers liked one of my posts. Oh, I love the Chemical Brothers. We used to go to Fabric, and I remember going up to them, up to the people who were doing the decks, spinning the vinyl that matter, the platters that matter, and I said, could you put some chemicals on? And they said, we are the chemicals. I was like, oh my God, you're the chemicals. Relax is not the answer. Lots of you saying A. It's Welcome to the Pleasure Dome. C. Frankie Goes to Hollywood. They were great. What a great name for a band. Hey? It's just a great name for a band. Okay. Let's see. Who got the most? Did anyone get anywhere near 2 out of 7 faith? 1 out of 7. Good Chip Lollipop. Russ, 6 out of 7? You top of the class, matey flip. I think the Coffee Moaning Instagram account's going to have to follow you for that. 6 out of 7? Okay. On that note, Georgina Demetrio, you got 7? Georgina Demetrio, 7. Quite phenomenal. Quite phenomenal. Lorraine Eads, 1. I was around that. Anyway, guys, there you go. There you have it. Have a lovely Friday. Don't have any fun. 0 fun. Follow us on Instagram for Coffee Moaning Little Bit Tidbits. There will be the Saturday papers tomorrow. There's the Curly Cooks landing at 10 o'clock tomorrow. And there will be some other batshit crazy content landing later today.